try a new recipe night. I'm going to try making some black bean quinoa rice sliders, and I'm excited to try it. If you're watching this now, that must mean it tastes good, so let's get right into making it. Number one, we got our black beans. I grabbed these Cuban style black beans at Trader Joe's, and we're going to try those. Up next, we got brown rice. I got this at Trader Joe's as well. Of course, you can get brown rice anywhere, as well as black beans. So we're going to use a cup of that. And the last burger ingredient is red quinoa. I got this at Trader Joe's, but they sell quinoa at Kroger and Meijer and a lot of other places. You could skip the quinoa if you want. The black beans and the rice will give you complete protein, but this will add even more protein. It's going to be super packed as far as protein goes. So there's the quinoa. We'll use 1 cup of that. Next, let's garnish it with some tomatoes. These are basically 2 Roma tomatoes, but I got these from a friend at a farmer's market. Let's also put some lettuce on our burger. Just a little bit of, I think iceberg lettuce here, but really any sort of greens would be fine, whatever you like. And I don't know about you, but I love Frank's Red Hot Sauce. So grab some of this if you would want to put this on your burger. I really love the taste of it. I think it's going to be a really good combo. And finally, I'm going to try seasoning it with this Chipotle roasted garlic, which I got at Kroger. And finally, we got our bread. Some Kroger slider bread. This was a good price, so yeah, just find this anywhere you can, or you could just use regular bread too. Just cut it to the right size, and that's it. So there you have all the ingredients. Let's get started making it. So first thing we want to do is get our rice going, so I'm going to add 2.5 cups water to this pan. Next we're going to want to get our quinoa going, so let's add 2 cups water to this pan. Alright, now we're going to add 1 cup of the quinoa to this before it even gets boiling, and we'll just wait for that to start boiling. Alright, now it's time to add 1 cup of the rice to our boiling water here. And we're just going to let that rice really soften up. It also says to put a lid over it, so we'll do that covered, then we'll get back to it. And for this quinoa, we're going to do the same thing as the rice, but only for 15 minutes. So you're going to turn that down to about halfway, and you're going to want to cover it with a lid, it said. So I'm taking a look at our quinoa here. That has been 15 minutes of simmering, and you can see the water is evaporated. The quinoa looks nice and soft, and I'm just going to leave it sit in the pan while the rice still goes, and that's it for the quinoa. So I'm checking on our rice here after the quinoa was done. It's been 15 minutes and the water has already boiled out, so I'm not going to keep cooking that. This rice is done and it looks ready to go, so I'm going to turn that burner off as well. And we're just going to start heating up some black beans real quick, and then we're going to try to grind this up, turn it into patties. Alright, so now I'm going to add the entire can of the Cuban style black beans. Put it on medium heat and stir it around for 5-10 minutes. Alright, our Cuban beans definitely seem to be nice and warm and done here. So it's time to turn this all into burger patties. Let me show you what my plan is there. Alright, my plan here is, since I don't have a food processor, I'm going to use my blender to basically blend the black beans and the rice together. So let's start with that. Here comes my black beans. And the rice. Here we go, I'm going to attempt to blend these together. I see it's not really getting most of that rice that's up top, so I'm going to try to stir it now. And let's blend it some more. Alright, let's stir it again. One last grind. Alright, I guess that's the best we're going to get. I mean, this isn't a food processor after all, so now I'm going to combine that with the quinoa and we should be done with these patties. There we go, this is our black bean rice mix here, and now I'm just going to add the quinoa to it. And I'm just going to stir this up. You can see the consistency is already pretty sticky, good for turning into patties. Alright, I'm happy how this is looking so far. Alright, let's chop up our tomato real quick. I'm just going to chop one because I won't be needing them both for this meal, but for the leftovers you're going to want to chop up the other one when you're ready for that. And let's set these aside for now, and we're going to make our patties. Alright, it's patty making time. What I'm going to do first here is add some of this, and I could have added that earlier in the process, maybe even during the blending, but I'm just going to sprinkle a whole bunch of this in here and stir it up. And one more time, just for good measure. That should be plenty of flavor. There we go. And if there's any meat eaters watching the show right now, basically what we're looking at here is seasoned hamburger meat now. It almost feels the same too. You just take it out, plop it down, and we're gonna turn this into patties. I might not even have enough room for all that, so let's start doing that. I like my patties thin and round for the slider. Don't go too big because we're doing it sliders. Alright, I got 6 burger patties there, and that's probably 2 meals right there in itself. So this is going to be quite a few meals. I'm not even sure how many yet. Alright, let's fry these guys up like regular burgers. I'm going to add just a little bit of oil for the non-stick factor, but you could just add a little water if you want. And you know, I realize this has been a lot of pans and kind of more cooking than the usual meal, but this makes so many leftovers that you're not going to be doing any cooking for like, I mean, you could be eating this for like a week if you wanted. So it's totally worth the effort if you got some extra time on a Sunday night like I do right now, and just make these and you pretty much be eating them all week. I mean, I'm going to be eating them all week. Let's just treat them like burgers, fry them up real quick. It'll make sure their consistency stays together a little better too, I'm thinking. Then we'll be ready to eat. And look at those bad boys sizzling up like real burgers. They smell great too because of the seasoning. These are going to be a little big for our sliders. Okay, you know, just for the sake of this, I'm just going to cut these into more regular slider sizes, and I'll use this remainder to make another slider. I was able to turn our 6 burgers basically into 4, 8, 10 sliders. So that's all that I did there, and they're done cooking. You hardly have to fry them much at all. I mean, basically just heat them up and get their consistency a little stronger together, and then you're done. Alright, I'm going to let it cook just a little more, and then we're going to make some burgers. Alright, up next, let's just lightly toast our sliders. Alright, here we got everything we need. I got 3 sliders. And now let's add some Frank's Red Hot to that, because why not? There we go. And some lettuce. Should have did tomato first. That's alright. 1 tomato each. Alright, they're complete. I'm going to take some pictures now. Alright, here we are, ready to eat again, and I apologize for the lighting right now, but I'm going to give this a shot. I haven't had it yet, so. As expected, it's incredible, so thanks for watching, and please let me know if you make this, and if you have any suggestions, that'd be awesome. See you soon. Also, it's really cool that this has more protein than beef in it, because quinoa is a 100% complete protein, as I already mentioned, and the brown rice and black beans is as well. So between those two things, it's more protein, and there's no hormones and there's no antibiotics and anything like that. So that's the coolest part about this, I think, other than the taste, which is actually probably the coolest part. But thanks for watching.